This is how to ride faster with half the effort. I see it every single day. Riders grinding through trails, arms pumped, legs burning, going slower than they should be. And the crazy part, you can practice behind better riders for years and completely miss this. But I'll show you the one reverse speed principle with 5 progressions, so no matter your level, you can apply this now. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dave Davidson, and I'm on a mission to solve the crash crisis by restoring athleticism. Look, speed doesn't come from your effort, it comes from efficiency. I discovered this following Nico Mullally down Windrock Bike Park. He's the same guy who plays 4th in the Hafiel World Cups without a chain. I had to pedal to keep up with him, and again, he never spun the cranks at all. I'm gonna reveal why and the secret to you now, and it's going to fix you fighting the bike forever. Now, here's the big idea. Effortless speed comes from movement, and struggling for speed comes from positions and pedaling. Let me say that again. Effortless speed comes from athletic movement, and struggling for speed comes from forcing positions and pedaling harder. 99% of riders out there pedal harder and hold a body position for dear life, and they hold it more rigidly, and the fastest riders, they're using big and small movements. If you stay stiff, you're using a static solution to a dynamic problem. In other words, it's mountain biking, not sprinting on flat pavement. Now let's go through each of these 5 techniques to create these very movements to give you the speed that you want forever. The number 1 is triple extension. Your hips give you power, okay? So here's the deal. When riders try to go faster, they push harder with their arms, they pull on the bars, they muscle the bike around, and it's exhausting, it's slow. It's a ton of work for you, and it doesn't work. So the secret, you need triple extension. This is what happens when your ankle, knee, and hip all extend at the same time. Think about jumping. You push through your whole leg. That's triple extension. And on the bike, this is where all your power comes from. By using our strong, bigger muscles, it costs less to exert force on the bike. And here's the key, you only need small amounts of this. You're not doing box jumps out there. You're using tiny, precise extensions to pump the bike through terrain. And it all starts with the hips. Your hips are your engine. When you hinge at the hips, then you extend, you're loading and releasing energy through the bike. Your hands, they are just steering, they're guiding. They're not the power source, they're like a counterweight if you need them. So if you're trying to pump a roller or a turn or a compression and you're yanking with your arms, you're doing it backwards. Push through your feet, extend through your hips. Let the bike move underneath you. Watch this. When I come into this section, I'm not pulling, I'm pushing. My hips drive the movement. My hands are just holding on for the ride. So looking closely here, can you see this small hip extension? The bike accelerates. I didn't work harder, I worked smarter. Now, here's a pro tip. If you get this idea, but it's not working for you on the trail, it is not your technique, it's your athleticism. You can't fix this with a new bike or more practice. What you really need to do is you need to activate the posterior chain, which is everything on your back, your butt muscles, your hamstrings, your glutes, and execute explosive movement off the bike, then translate it to the bike. That's what gives you power. Now, you can have all the power in the world, but if your core is weak, you're just flopping around on the bike. Now, I'm not talking about giving yourself power in the core through crunches and sit-ups. I'm talking about dynamic neuromuscular stability. I'll say it again, dynamic neuromuscular stability. This is how your body learns to create stability under movement, which again, remember, movement is the key to speed. You need to be able to stabilize your trunk without holding your breath or clenching like a sit-up. On the bike, this is everything. You're going over rocks, you're going over roots, you're going over drops, you're going over compressions, and your core needs to hold you stable while your arms and legs are pumping and absorbing and adjusting around it. If your core is weak, or if it doesn't know how to stabilize dynamically, you're going to compensate with your arms. You're going to get rigid. You're going to feel like you're hanging on for dear life. So here's what you need to do. Start with basic DNS, or dynamic neuromuscular stability exercises. I'm talking dead bugs, bird dogs, Pallof presses. These teach your core to resist rotation and create stability while your limbs move independently. Then take it to the bike, stand on the pedals, twist your hips around, pump through a roller. Your core should feel active, but not tense. It should feel like it's holding you in place while everything else moves. Now, when you have a strong, stable core, you can move your hips without losing your balance. You can pump without falling forward. You can corner without death gripping the bars. That's where the magic happens. Now watch this. Don't try this at home, but when you have a really strong core that's able to move, you can move all around and you have tension in the core. And I'm demonstrating this by punching myself. You need to have that level of strength in the core while being able to move in different directions and positions. Now, for those of you that are following this movement and you're committing to being in shape, I put together a free training here in this video to discover more you can watch after this one. Number 3, timing and anticipation. You need to go and target the traction. This is where most riders leave speed on the table. They ride reactively. In other words, the bumps hit them and they hold on for dear life. So you're seeing a rock, you react. You see a turn, you're reacting. They're always one step behind the trail. If you want to be an elite rider, if you want to hit your goals in 2026, that means you need to anticipate. You're seeing 3, 4, 5 features ahead and you're using timing to target the traction or pump at the right time. Now, what does that mean? It means you're looking for places on the trail where you can go and gain speed. A compression you can pump, a berm you can push out of, a flat section where you can carry momentum. And if you're timing those movements to hit those spots perfectly, then it gives you speed. Let me give you an example. So you're coming into a turn that has a little roller before it. Most riders brake before the roller, they coast through it, and then they try to accelerate out of the turn. That's 3 separate actions. A great rider, they make it into one big movement. They pump the roller to accelerate into the turn. They use the speed from the roller to carry it through the turn, and it's one big action with way less effort and way more speed and way more fun. This is what I mean by targeting the traction. You find the spots where the trail gives you grip, where you can push more into the ground and the ground will push back. And since you're timing that hip extension to match the spots, it gives you more speed. Watch this section. I'm not pedaling, I'm not yanking on the bars, I'm just pumping in the right spot at the right time. If you see that, I gained speed without pedaling. I targeted the traction, I timed the pump, and the trail did all the work for me. The way you need to train this is simple. Ride the same section over and over and over, and every time you ride, ask yourself, where can I gain the speed? Where can I push into the ground? Where can I pump? Then go and experiment. Try pumping a little earlier, try pumping later, try pumping harder. You'll start to kind of feel it from the trail feedback, and you'll feel the rhythm of the trail, and when you find it, you'll realize you've been working way too hard for way too long. Now that you got all the speed, we want to make sure we don't lose it. Now, you can not lose that speed and keep it with proper braking. This is the biggest speed killer I see. Riders are on the brakes constantly, and it's not because the trail is too fast for you, it's because you're too tense and you're not looking ahead. Here's the truth. When you're tense, your brain perceives everything as more dangerous than it is, so we brake to create false safety. When you're looking at your front wheel, you have no time to react, so you brake. So the fix is relax. You can still brake, but do it from a place of being relaxed and look ahead. I know that it sounds kind of basic, just relax Jimmy Geometry over there, but hear me out. When you relax your upper body, when you loosen your grip on the bars, when you soften your elbows, when you let your shoulders relax, your body can move with the bike. You can absorb impacts. You can adjust to changes in the trail, and you don't feel like you're out of control. When you look ahead, like way ahead, not just one feature, but 3 or 4 features, you give your brain time to process what's coming, and you can plan your line. You can anticipate the terrain, and you don't need to brake because you're ready for it. Now, here's a drill for you. Next time you ride, pick a section where you normally brake a lot. This time, force yourself to look a little further ahead than you normally do. Look at the exit of the turn, not just the entrance. Look at the section after the rock garden, not the rock garden itself. And then consciously breathe. Like, think about it. The word loose and breathe. What you find is that you naturally will brake less, not because you're trying to go faster, but because you feel more confident and in control. And when you're more in control, you are more in control. So watch this. I'm going to ride this section and I want you to watch me and watch my head. It's not bouncing around. Look very closely. I'm not looking down. I'm just looking right ahead to where I'm going, and I'm smooth, I'm relaxed, barely touching the brakes. I'm going way faster than if I was tense and reactive. So do all these 4 things, and I promise you, you will be faster, you will be smoother, you will be less tired at the end of your ride. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, I want to be the 1% of riders with a big goal and the exact plan to hit it now, Here's what to do. Click the link below. It's a link to apply for the Athlete Accelerator. It's our flagship program where we do a 90-day intensive to restore your athleticism, dial in your technique, and build the confidence you need to ride fast forever. If that's interesting to you, apply now to see if you qualify. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks.